What's going on? Toodaloo, toodaloo. Hope everybody's having a good day. Might not be on tomorrow. We're supposed to maybe get some naders. It's supposed to be rough going tomorrow weather-wise up here in East Tennessee. So, if you wouldn't mind, say a prayer for everybody today and tomorrow down the south and up here. There's going to be quite a few people maybe getting some naders. So pray for everybody affected by severe weather and hope they do well. All right, so, oh, and by the way, thanks everybody thanks to all my subs, members, and by the way, thank you for the donations. You know who you are. Keep you private, but thank you for the donations. Appreciate it. And you don't have to. Just let you know. All right, so I got to talk to a CPS worker. Well, an ex-CPS worker. And I had this person go over the Summer Wells case. Because what I wanted them to do, instead of just explaining everything to them, I wanted them to briefly look over it on their own and give me their opinion. So, let's get into that. So, pretty much, I'm going to hit on the issue where they're not allowed to communicate with the kids. I'm going to hit on that. They said, basically, if the communication has been halted, if they're not allowed to, to communicate with the kids, the likelihood of a termination is very high. Not 100%, but the likelihood of a termination is very high. So, speaking to this individual, they've not been in, I guess they've been retired for a while, but nothing's 100%, but the likelihood is very high. So I've got faith now, after listening to all this, I've got faith, guys. I do. I got 100% faith in the case involving the boys. CPS as a whole, though, yeah, we all still know that needs some work done to it. That's no secret there. CPS as a whole definitely needs a lot of work done to it. All right, but that being said, this person has reassured my faith in CPS with the boys, just the boys case, that they are doing the right thing. Some things I didn't know, but we'll go over that in a minute. Now, the boys, this got brought to my attention. The boys may have seen what happened to Summer that day, but may not. But if they didn't see what happened to Summer that day, they feel like the boys would hold probably the most amount of information in helping bring justice to Summer's case. I'll just say it like that. And there's actually still a lot of people out there, they'll say, well, what's the boys got to do? What's the boys got to do with Summer Wells? Apparently it does. Apparently it does. So when you do hear YouTubers talking about the boys, Don and Candace and the boys, it's got everything to do with Summer's case. So we'll just put it at that, guys. Leave it like that. And in their opinion, yes, the boys will be an important part of the prosecution. Now, here's something that I really didn't even, going through all this, here's something that I've not really even paid attention to until they told me. And this is why I wanted to talk to somebody that either used to work for CPS or currently does work for CPS. But I was told someone that currently works for CPS, kind of be unethical for them. If you find someone that's currently working for CPS, they're not allowed to give opinions or anything like that, stuff like that. So it's kind of a ethical thing there, which I can understand that. But they was telling me that, and this makes sense, guys, and this is probably why it's taking 18 to 22 months, okay? CPS normally does an 18-month investigation, which I didn't know. I didn't know it was that long. And they want to make sure that they've done everything right. Not only to protect them and the choices that they've made in the investigation, but also CPS could very well testify. CPS staff could very well have to testify in court. That's why CPS wants to make sure that all their T's are crossed and all their I's are dotted. And they want to make sure they do the right thing for the boys. That first. Now, in my opinion, CPS has already exhausted everything that they can do, in my opinion. If it's come down to the point where they're not allowing them to communicate with the boys no more, that tells me, and in my opinion, they've exhausted everything. Because I was told that they will give parents every chance in the world. If they fail at this, they'll have a meeting and go, okay, well, let's see if they can do this. And if they're struggling with this, let's see if they can do this. There are several steps that CPS can give parents to make progressive steps in the reunification process. But at some point, if it's not working, then the courts have to get the courts involved. So it's not looking good, guys. It's not looking good. And here's another thing that I was told, and I didn't think about this either. They make a good point on this one. Good point. They seem to think with Dawn and Candace's mindset that in their own minds, they think they're getting the kids back. And with what they've seen on the internet, there may be a lot of stuff that they're doing to persuade the public, because you've got the public, and then you've got CPS. CPS knows what's going on. The public don't. So they're kind of thinking that since they've had this big, perception in the public's eye, been on YouTube so much from the get-go and doing all this stuff that they've been doing on social media, they believe that, the house, the stuff going on with the house and stuff like that may be just a ploy, if you will, so it makes them look like they're trying to do what's needed. But in reality, there's a very high percentage that they're not going to get the kids back. And yes, I was right that with the current situation where there is a child still missing, all cases involving CPS where they pull a kid or children out of the home, it's all serious. And it's all a very big liability. And Summer's case and the boy's case is no exception. It is a very, very high liability for CPS. And they have to make the best decision for the boys because of the liability issue here, guys. Because we've all questioned it. What would happen if they did get the boys back, and 3 or 6 months later, one or all of them got gone? Right? It's a huge liability. This case has got liability screaming out loud all over it. So again, guys, I'm gonna wrap it up, but just to let you know, my last video, I was very frustrated and had some doubts about the system, but now this person has put me back into focus. And it's true, guys. It's true. Knowledge is power. Knowledge is power. And knowing what I know now, I wished I'd have got this information at the very beginning. But knowing what I know now, I have complete faith that CPS, at least in the boys' case, in the Summer Wells case, they're doing the right thing. They are. They are doing the right thing. And I think for the most part, I'll go ahead and say this, in my opinion, for the most part, the police are doing the right thing too. Now, could they have maybe done some things differently at the very beginning of this? Yes. But again, that's in the public's perception. You know, we definitely, a lot of people feel like, yes, Don and Candace at least could have been, you know, charged with something criminally, seeing how the kids were taken out of the house on an emergency basis, or just, you know, just from even being removed from the home. Because like I said, CPS doesn't take kids out of the house for shits and giggles. They do not remove you from your home and parents for shits and giggles. And there's something there that we just don't know, but I'm sure it'll come to light. You know, guys, it'll come to light. So again, as I wrap this video up, I've got complete faith in CPS. Well, just in the Summer Wells and the boys case. I don't know about any other cases, but and again, as a whole, you know, CPS ain't perfect. I don't know any organization that's perfect. I don't know any, you know, TBI ain't perfect. FBI ain't perfect. Secret Service ain't perfect. Nobody's perfect, guys. So that being said, but I do, looking over everything with the case involving the boys, I do think that they've got a good grip on it, and they're making the right decisions. They're thinking about later down the road, and like I said, you know, there'll be some workers that will have to testify, and I'm sure the detectives will have to testify, and it is best. I mean, I would like a little bit of transparency, but at the end of the day, it is their investigation, and if they feel like they can't give no transparency because it could jeopardize the investigation, ooh, Easter lilies, squirrel, then if they've got the, listen, if Hawkins County has Summer's best interest in mind and the boys' best interest in mind, I'm gonna back them 100%. Are they perfect? No. But again, guys, nobody's perfect. Do I think justice will come for Summer and the boys? 110% I do. 110% I do. So, that being said, guys, I'm going to sign off. Hope you enjoyed the video, and I'll see you on the next one. Peace out.